So, this is the Week 3 2025 NFL TV map for the season. This Sunday. CBS is having the single window, while Fox is having the early and late windows. So, Fox had the early and late window in Week 2. Fox is having the early and late window in Week 3, although the late window game is not as good as the early window games, I think. So let's go talk about it. So for the single window, we have the feature game. Cincinnati, Minnesota is in pretty much all of North Dakota, most of South Dakota, most of Nebraska, of Kansas, and Oklahoma. Well, not all of Oklahoma, not all of it, but a good bit of Oklahoma. It's the Dallas area and Texas. In that area, we have most of Louisiana, most of Missouri, some of Illinois, not all of Illinois, the St. Louis area, Peoria, Quad Cities, Chicago, Iowa, most of Wisconsin except for the Green Bay area, and northern Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, except for South Bend, and then Ohio, except for the South Fort Wayne area, and then Chicago goes in a little bit, Indianapolis, the Cincinnati area, I believe the Lexington, Kentucky areas, and not the Cleveland area in Ohio. And then there's a little bit of West Ohio, Kentucky, they get the Pittsburgh and West Virginia, Charleston, West Virginia station. And then the Sacramento, San Francisco area, they get Cincinnati, Minnesota. We're going to show the featured game. Texas El Paso. That's the one, and that's because Aaron Jones, I'm assuming that's because Aaron Jones went to the University of Texas at El Paso. So, and then we have Pittsburgh at New England. That's what you're assuming. Pittsburgh at New England is. There's a little bit of California station and like Hawaii. There might have been some players who went to like college in those areas or are from those areas, grew up in those areas. So, and then you have, and then it's Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, Miami area, which is an AFC East area for New England. We have Alabama, which some players must have went to Alabama. And then we have that Savannah, Georgia area, but the rest of Georgia, except for the Atlanta area and the Savannah area, Georgia area, the Tallahassee, Florida area station, Jacksonville, Florida stations, they get Houston, they get Pittsburgh and New England, and then all of North and South Carolina, except for the Charlotte area, and then West Virginia, North Carolina, all of Pennsylvania, except for the Philadelphia and then the DC areas. The DC area gets that one. That's because Washington DC is the Washington Commanders, even though they play in Virginia. And then you got the New York City area, the Buffalo, New York area. You got the New York City area, the New York, and all the Northeast, New England Northeast area. And then who is the Jekyll? It's all of Texas except for the Dallas area. And a little bit of Oklahoma and Mexico. You got like a Texas station. And then it's Panama City, Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Orlando. And then Savannah, Georgia area goes into. And then we have Indianapolis, Tennessee. In the early window, that is most of Indiana except for the Louisville, Kentucky area, a little bit of Indiana. That gets the Cincinnati, Ohio station, and Louisville, Kentucky station, and then in Lexington, Kentucky. They get the Cincinnati station. They get the Cincinnati, and then you got all of Tennessee, the EW area in Kentucky, and then you get the SPR area in Illinois, the Cape Girardeau area, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee area, and then Huntsville, Alabama. And then you have Denver, LA Chargers, and late window. That's the feature late window game. If your team is on an early window on on Fox, if your team is in an early window on Fox, you're going to get a late window game on CBS. Man, there's some teams that are getting it. And we have Green Bay area is getting the Denver LA Chargers game, as well as Northern Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio area, the DC area, the Philadelphia area, the Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, which almost all of that area is. Some of South and Dakota, and then there's some of Nebraska, all of Colorado, all of New Mexico, except for a little bit of areas that overlap with like an Oklahoma station or a Texas station on the border. And going to for TV coverage, like TV signal coverage, like over the air. It will go and it stretches to New Mexico. And then we have El Paso, Texas. And that goes in a little bit of New Mexico. And then we have a little bit of Arizona that gets in New Mexico, or like California station. And then goes in a little bit of Nevada, except for the Las Vegas area. Cuts off at the Las Vegas area. And then you got Las Vegas. And you got some of Oregon, not all of Oregon, with Eugene, Oregon area. Rest of California, except for San Francisco area, a little bit of area that gets. And then Minnesota gave up Northern California, and then San Francisco and Pittsburgh in the little stretch. And there's a little, if that little block didn't get Pittsburgh at noon, they might have gotten Cincinnati, or they could have gotten Denver LA Chargers. And the rest of California, they got Eugene, Oregon, the Boise, Idaho area. So, yeah, and then we got all Washington. And then we got some of Oregon, like the Portland area, and some of areas of Oregon. Again, the Northern Steel game. And then Idaho, and then some of Idaho, some that get like a Washington station, and like a little bit Oregon station that gets the game. And then Washington, and then all of Washington gets the game, and then all of pretty much Louisiana in the Shreveport area, and then it goes like the Shreveport area that gets like this with the what goes like a little bit into Texas with their TV coverage. They get that game late, and then you got a little bit of Oklahoma and Arkansas that gets that game from the Shreveport, Louisiana station. I would assume, or maybe like some other stations like right on the border that do like Arkansas, like Louisiana, so they would get that game, and it might go into like the Oklahoma area, a little bit of Texas, and then you got Mississippi, most of Mississippi, except for the area that gets the Memphis, Tennessee station. They get Indianapolis, Tennessee, and then the Atlanta, Georgia area does, because that's the AFC South viewing area. Base viewing area, so that would make sense. They would get the Northern Steel and light window, as well as Tampa Bay area, as well as the Charlotte area. Makes sense. And then in the Fox early window, we have most of the country is going to see LA Rams at Philadelphia. But there's going to be some areas that you get some other games. The New York Jets at Tampa Bay game is not going to get a ton of viewing area. Despite being the number 2 in the early window. We have LA Ram is in all Florida, pretty much in the Jacksonville area. and then a little bit goes into like the Georgia with Jacksonville, Tallahassee areas. You're going to get New Jersey, Tempe, which makes sense. And then you have Green Bay at Cleveland. Oh, and then I forgot to mention that also this team's up in the game. It's going to be in the Northeast Buffalo, New York area. It's going to get that one. Someone must have went to either that or it's like an AFC team. I'm not for sure. Either someone to school in Buffalo for Buffalo, one of the colleges are from there, or just an AFC team maybe. I don't know. And then it's Vermont. You got Albany, New York, Hartford, Connecticut area, and then New York City area. They get the New York Jets Tampa game. And then Green Bay, Cleveland is going to be some of a little bit of Idaho, most, and then some of you see there of North and South Dakota, most of Oklahoma, a little bit, and then you see like Wyoming and Montana, most of Wyoming, a little bit of Montana. You got North, South Dakota, all Minnesota area. I mean, you're getting the AFC North territory area. The AFC North area is showing that one, or the NFC North is showing that one. Despite yeah, and then in my area they have like overlap from Minnesota Vikings fans and the Minnesota Vikings fan base area and like the Green Bay Packers fan base area. They kind of overlap a little bit. You know, I know Northern Michigan kind of overlaps with the Green Bay Packers as well as the Detroit Lions. They can. So you have that of Michigan, all of Wisconsin, all of Northern Michigan, most of Illinois except for the St. Louis area. You have Cape Girardeau, Missouri area, all of Kentucky except for the area that gets a Nashville, Tennessee station, of Indiana, which I don't know why Indiana is getting that game. Maybe for people in like Ohio, Ohio, they have like or Indiana stations that might merge with Ohio stations. Might like Indiana, Ohio. They might both like share like a Fox affiliate, some parts of Indiana, some parts of Ohio. So then they'll bring it to the Ohio station. If they're based, and if they're based in Indiana because of that stations. So and then you have all of Ohio. And you have the Pittsburgh area, the AFC North, Cincinnati and Cleveland, and Pittsburgh area. Oh. Yeah, I forgot. And then your Jets Bay, that makes sense because Buffalo, I forgot about Buffalo. They're in the AFC East. But I'm surprised then that means. But Boston might not be but they're showing the New England game, so that makes sense. And then you have Pittsburgh. Yeah. And all of Charleston, West Virginia, right? Makes sense. Cincinnati fans, probably, or be. And then you have Las Vegas, or unless someone school there, but probably the Cincinnati Bengals area. And then you have Las Vegas at Washington. It's the Boise, Idaho area. I'm assuming that's for Ashton Jeanty, because he went to college at Boise State, and is their running back. So then you have Las Vegas area, the Reno, Nevada area. You like the Las Vegas area, you have the Reno, Nevada area. I'm surprised that all of Nevada usually doesn't get Las Vegas Raiders, which I'm shocked by. And you have the Reno, the second round, the San Francisco, the Fresno area. Could be like the Oakland area, in that area over there. Yeah, like Oakland area. And that is because for the old Oakland Raiders fan base area. And then you have the Virginia area. Well, the rest of West Virginia pretty much doesn't get the back to the game. Baltimore, Maryland area, the the DC area, the Washington DC area, and then you have a little bit of Pennsylvania. It's like the Baltimore, like a Maryland station, and then you have the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area, which I'm a little surprised by that area is getting that game. I don't know why. Did somebody like go to college in like the Baton Rouge area or the New Orleans area, like LSU maybe, or like one of the colleges around that area, and played there? Like, I do not know off the top of my head. So, and then Atlanta at Carolina with Timber Miller. We have Huntsville, Alabama area, so someone Bryce Young, yeah, Alabama, and Montgomery, Alabama. Except the Birmingham area in Alabama, Huntsville, Alabama, the Montgomery, Alabama area, Mobile, Alabama. All except the Birmingham area. They're watching. It might be Birmingham, Alabama. Could be like the Tuscaloosa area, maybe. Maybe it could be like the Tuscaloosa area, and they would see maybe Jalen Hurts because they're Alabama fans in college, in like NFL. So maybe I could see that. So I could see that. So and then we have all of Georgia, pretty much except for Jacksonville area. The stations from Florida that were up. Georgia stations are based in Florida. And you have North South Carolina. It goes in a little bit of Virginia. And then Norfolk, Virginia goes in a little bit of just barely upper North Carolina. And then most of Tennessee, except for we have the Virginia area, station area, and it goes in merges into Tennessee. And then the fact that most of and then Alaska's gonna see Green Bay at Cleveland. Hawaii is going to see Irons at Philadelphia, which they might go out. They base off like distance or base off of the LA show, so that makes sense. Either that or they have like a featured because maybe Hawaii goes with the LA sports teams, right? California sports teams, so that makes sense. And then you have the early. Most of the country is going to see the Dallas Chicago game. So Alaska, Hawaii is going to see the Arizona and San Francisco game. And you have the Portland area, which goes in a little bit of Washington, Boise, Idaho area, near all of Oregon, except for the little area, the TC area, and Seattle, the Boise, Idaho area, and you have the Phoenix and the Tucson areas, and that goes the Arizona station goes in a little bit of Nevada, except for Las Vegas area, and then the Reno, Nevada area, and then all of California, and a little bit of New Mexico station, or like a Utah station, or like a Colorado station, like a Four Corners station, I guess you might call it. That goes into like areas, like one of those stations, maybe New Mexico on the border, or like Utah coverage area that goes into Arizona, or and then the rest of that get Arizona and San Francisco. Like I said, off California, Reno, Nevada area, Louisiana area, and the rest of Oregon, except for the area that's the TC area. It's a TC area station, or I guess repeater of that station. Or maybe just a little bit of an Idaho station that's getting that game, or and then the Portland area goes into a little bit over Washington, and southwestern Washington. So yeah, and then that's it. And then The Miami Buffalo game is going to be simulcast on WFOR, CBS 4 in Miami, and WKBW ABC 7 in Buffalo. So that is it for the week. That is it for the week 3 NFL TV map. There was no updates on that week 2 NFL TV map. Like week 1, there was some updates on the TV map. For week 1, like the networks decided to, like the channel, like the stations themselves decided to switch. Maybe there was like fan interest, like saying the fans and the station really wanted to see this game instead of this game. So there's a lot more switching around. Week 2 had it pretty dialed in, like the fan, when the fans in local areas really wanted to see. They kind of had it dialed down. So, for the most part, Alright, they did actually, no switching. I could see a little switching, but no, maybe like, not, maybe like a little bit Pittsburgh, New England, and California. I don't know why. Maybe I could get switched unless there's a specific reason, like someone in college or from the area, which would make sense. So